So Rachel, you are from New Zealand, correct?
Yes, that's right.
Now when I lived in London many years ago, my roommate was from New Zealand. Really nice guy, and he had the coolest job. He would ride around motorbike in New Zealand. In the bush, as he called it. The wild, as we say.
The bush.
The bush. And his job was to just kill invasive species. That was his job. Just go out and plant traps for rabbits.
Yes, that's right. Actually, I have a friend. How does that now?
Really?
Yes.
So it's that big of a problem? You have to like.
It's a huge problem, yeah.
Really, like so what animals are a problem?
Rabbits, like you mentioned. Possums are a big problem in the bush because they eat a lot of the native plants.
We have possums too in America, in Northern California, and they are disgusting. I love animals, but they are one animal I don't like. They are nasty.
There's a big possum hunt in many areas every year, and they are starting to sell the pelts as fur because they are not a protected species, so there's no limits on how much you can catch and how much fur you can sell.
Yeah, and they often have rabies, right? At least in the States we have to be very careful.
No, we don't have rabies in New Zealand.
Oh, that's good to know.
So,
Yeah, we have crazy stories of possums or raccoons having rabies, so when you see one, like they tell you, do not touch it, don't go near it, because if you get bit you are. Yeah, I got bit a dog while I was in Thailand and had to get the rabies shot, and it was not fun.
oh, that sounds awful.
Yeah, and luckily for me I went in to get the shot because I did not know about really rabies. I was not educated about it, and I thought, well, the dog just bit me a little bit, but I better go and check, and the doctor was like, oh, now, it can kill you, like, yeah, you better get it checked out.
This is one of the reasons we have very strict import laws in New Zealand. We have seen the damage that can be done, and we're very strict now. Rabies is one of the diseases that we don't have and very keen not to ever have.
So you have a problem with possums and with rabbits.
Rabbits on farms. There's also wild deer and boar in the forests who also do a lot of damage, and stray cats and dogs as well also kill a lot of native species. There's no native animals in New Zealand. The only mammals that are native to New Zealand are dolphins and bats, so there's no natural hunters except for hawks. So a lot of the birds have lost the ability to fly and they nest on the ground, so they are enormously vulnerable to predator species like cats and dogs. They have almost completely decimated many bird species, so that's why they're hunters throughout New Zealand who are basically given free range to shoot whatever they can find because they're so destructive to the natural environment.
Yeah, I think I read somewhere where you have some campaign to have like no predators by a certain year, right? Like a new things in New Zealand.
I have not heard of that, but I would not be surprised. I think that's always been a goal.
I think it was in the news. I shall have to check, so I could be wrong. But I think it was 2050 is the goal of the government to have no predators.
That would be amazing.
And they said the big one is dogs and cats. That's like the sticking point.
They are starting to get much stricter about controlling cats and dogs now. Keeping cats inside and keeping dogs leashed, so that they don't run off into the bush and cause a lot of problems.
But dogs, I think, are probably more domesticated. They are probably not as dangerous, but cats are they are not that domesticated. They are still natural hunters.
Yeah, we keep them with us to hunt, pests like mice. They live with us, so yeah, they catch a lot of birds, but with the birds nesting on the ground and unable to fly, it's very easy for the dogs to kill them as well.
Oh, I see. And dogs can just be naughty sometimes.
Heck yes. They run off.
So what do you think? Do you think your country can achieve this goal, no predators, by 2050?
It sounds very challenging. I think at present, only some of the offshore islands are completely pest-free. Well, no predators, yeah, that's not quite the same as no pests because pests also include things like rabbits and possums and deer that don't eat the native species, so just predator-free might be a bit more achievable, I think.
Hello, Matt.
Hello, Jack.
Matt, I'm going to ask you some questions about pets.
Okay.
First question, do you have a pet?
Yes, my pet at my mom's house. We have 3 pets, 2 dogs and a cat. My family actually raises dogs for helping blind people.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, like how do they train the dogs?
How do they train the dogs? Well, I mean it's a long process, right? We get them when they are puppies and so we train them basic. Sit, come, really basic things. Then after they are about 2-year-old, they go to a different training school.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, how many dogs do they usually train at a time?
Oh, just one. We have our own dog and then we have a dog that we are training.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just one dog at a time.
Do you ever see the dogs you train like out on the street or anything?
Sometimes we see them. They will have like sort of conventions of reunions of the pets. Yeah, you get to see them every once in a while.
Oh, wow. That's cool. Why do people keep pets?
I guess the most important thing is companionship, right? So there is always somebody there for you that will like you no matter what.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Besides cats, dogs, and fish, what are some other pets people keep?
Well, I guess if you are Siegfried and Roy, you can keep a tiger or lion. I guess all types of things, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, my friend has a snake. I don't know if you mentioned that snake, ferrets and insects, spiders,
Okay.
all kinds of things.
All right. Yeah, like there is so many. What are some costs associated with keeping a pet?
Food is probably the biggest cost. But also if you keep the dog, particularly a dog in your house when they are puppies, and we have a lot of puppies, they will chew up everything they can, so we are constantly replacing shoes and cleaning up pee from the carpet and things like that. It can be a hassle.
Yeah, okay. Thanks a lot, Matt. By the way, where are you from?
I'm from the USA, from Minnesota.